I am Starla Watson, third grade teacher at Lackamas.
And I am Krishana Armstrong, third grade teacher at Lackamas.
Last year, we used an instructional strategy called Talk Moves. We noticed during the implementation of Talk Moves that we needed more than just the basics. And so we created more deeper use of Talk Moves as an instructional strategy for student discourse. It was visible through our test scores compared to the previous year that it was a very impacting instructional strategy in the classroom. So we decided that we needed to continue.
So we decided the first thing to do is ask ourselves the question, how do we take our grade level experience that we had and the success and then spread it building wide at Lackamas?
The first thing that we did was introduce the concept at a building level of just the basic knowledge of what student discourse is and how to implement it in the classroom. We talked to the staff about the strategy and the impact of what this means in the classroom, and showed a video that made it visible to them of what they will see at the end with the students.
So from there, we had to plan our support. How do we support our staff? And so where we basically started was just a generalized meeting. We did quarterly meetings, quarterly check-ins, and we introduced, when are you using Talk Moves or student discourse? Where are you using it? And then it progressed to teachers' troubleshootings, challenges they're having with their kids, needs that their kids were having, and how can we, with experience, support that for them. And so Starla was able to go into some classrooms and do some coaching and observing and watching and teaching. And then from there, our building principal was able to make observational rounds. We've done instructional rounds where other teachers went into each other's classrooms and we observed. And then also both formal and informal administrative observations as well. How is it being used? How is it utilized? Where and when? And where we can go from there.
The most visible impact that we saw in the classroom was that students were having conversations about what they were learning. They were collaborating together, and they were having discourse and being able to work through those together as students. Well, we just kind of facilitated, and that was really powerful and eye-opening for us.
I'm Danielle Matheny, second grade teacher at Lackamas Elementary. Last year, during instructional rounds, we were able to observe third grade doing Talk Moves with their students. And when Mr. Foray presented it to us at the beginning of the year, saying that all the school was going to do it, I was super excited and ready to jump on board with it. Over the course of the year, Mrs. Watson, one of our third grade teachers, came in to coach us through Talk Moves, and she stated that second grade was pacing at the correct pace for where they should be. As the year progressed, we noticed a need to move our kids on with more Talk Moves, and by this point in the year, they are using all of the Talk Moves that were taught to us by Mrs. Watson and Mrs. Armstrong. And we've noticed academically that it has played out with helping our kids be able to restate the question verbally and also be able to restate the question when they're writing as well.
I'm Kay Armenta. I'm a fifth grade teacher at Lackamas. This was my first year here, and at our beginning of the year staff meeting, Talk Moves was introduced. I'd never heard of it before, but I realized it was pretty important here, so I needed to learn quickly. Mrs. Watson also came to my classroom and modeled a lesson with my fifth graders, which really helped because the kids had done it the year before, starting with it, but I'd never seen it. So having that modeling really helped me know what I should be doing to help them get where they needed to be. I've seen in the classroom how they've been just empowered to verbalize their own justifications for answers. Whether you agree or disagree with an answer, you have an equal chance of being called on to state why you agree or disagree. And it's carried into math, into science, social studies. They're making connections, and they're so excited to be able to use their Talk Moves to show what they're doing. Even times that we aren't officially using it, they'll start doing Talk Moves.